Hey guys, it's me, Vic123 with some Team Random Weapon gameplay. We've got Team Scoreboard here, as has been requested quite a lot of times. It was popular on the previous Call of Duty games, and surprisingly difficult on this one, because the scoreboard is just so dark. It just makes everything really difficult to see, and that is why I'm using the target finder. Oh my god, Vic, you're such a noob. Why would you ever use that thing? It's like the worst thing. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool attachment. Haters gonna hate. So, yeah, this is the gameplay made increasingly difficult through the fact that we had no radar, couldn't use any score streaks at all, and couldn't really see very well, couldn't tell if we were shooting at a teammate or an enemy, couldn't really tell when we'd killed an enemy either, and also couldn't change weapon, and sometimes we'd end up muting someone when we're trying to jump. But I made myself the task of staying at the top of the leaderboard so I wouldn't have to scroll up and down through the names. But that is the gameplay. Hopefully you guys will enjoy me going through it. I did fairly alright considering the actual situation. There was a lot more kind of just gun skill rather than placement. Although I play Team Deathmatch so much, you guys can probably see that I just get an idea of where the spawns are. With my headset, I can kind of hear what's going on, and from where I see enemies, I can pretty much work out the spawn points without a UAV. So that is the gameplay, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about something that's interesting, because I was just thinking the other day that, I've said this many a time, the reason that we, go through the education system is pretty much just to learn pointless stuff just to prove we can learn it and write it all down in an exam and pass that exam. Now, of course, everything needs an understanding, and you have to kind of learn that understanding to reach a certain level, but sometimes I feel the way we're examined goes beyond that, and we're examined on more memory-based stuff than principles. And the fact that everything can be found practically online these days, the internet has grown so large with such a huge volume of information that, it's just like technology is kind of, is it going to reach a point where we don't have to go into an education system like we did? In a couple of commentaries ago, I mentioned, genetics, possibly changing this to the point where you're not expected to learn things. You just, your DNA or your genetics kind of reads out what you're going to be able to apply yourself to, and you don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to end up doing that. But a different way could be purely through the growth of the internet, and that, with technology, a calculator. Once upon a time, you needed to know how to, you needed to know how to do a complex equation, long division. You needed to be able to work out how to times, 3,000 by 282, well, 3,096 by 282. Now you just type it into a calculator, boom, equals. Exponential equations, just type it into your calculator, boom, equals. You don't need to log it and anti-log it and look at log tables and that kind of stuff. We have technology that does that, and information on the internet. It just really kind of takes away the need to learn stuff. I mean, both my parents, they say in their work, they've forgotten most of the stuff they did in their qualifications, in their degrees, and, when it comes up to something that they need to know, they can look it up, or they can speak to someone who knows that kind of stuff. But, with the internet as it is, and, with social media the way it is, you can just, text someone, message someone, contact someone, post in a forum, that kind of stuff. That is there such a need in this day and age to basically memorize stuff? And it just makes me wonder. I mean, even with mobile smartphones, they've only been around really in the same way in the last kind of 5 years. Think how many people have, iPhones, Blackberries and that kind of stuff. And at the level they're at now, with mobile internet, 3G, it's just like, I'm asked a question, I don't know the answer, I'm going to look it up. I do that in class, if I'm trying to answer a question. Rather than looking through a textbook to find the answer to a question, a lot of the time I find it easier just to take out my phone and Google the exact question and get an exact answer. Is technology surpassing the way education is carried out to a point where education is pointless? I really don't know. It's just, interesting line of thought to take, and hopefully you guys will take interest in that. There's me trying to switch weapons and opening up my gamer card. So yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it, but I guess there are advantages and disadvantages to e-learning and just looking things up. If you're trying to, pick up a large volume of information, I guess it's, again, an advantage that you can schedule it the way you want. You can, make it to suit you. You don't have to go into anywhere to do this learning. and reduces travel time and all that kind of stuff. But I guess at the same time, if you've got a low level of motivation, kind of thrive on a structure, and you need something explaining to you in a couple of different ways before you pick it up, and you want hands-on experience, then I guess you can't really acquire that purely from just looking up things on the internet. But I think definitely the way everything's structured, we're going to see change in the future. So yeah, guys, leave your thoughts on how you think it is at the moment, how you think this kind of stuff is going to change into the future, whether you think this is the way forward, or whether it will always be just kind of an accessory to learning. So that has been Team Scoreboard gameplay. The scoreboard was dropped when the game ended, and it also gets dropped when the kill cam starts. But you guys know that was a scoreboard gameplay. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to hit the like button. Put some comments down. I want to read the comments. I'm going to keep going on about comments until you comment about me telling you to comment on this video, and then there'll be lots of comments about me commenting on. I don't even know anymore. Anyway, that's the video. Feel free to leave a like rating and check out these ones linked on screen now.